After saying goodbye to Mrs. Tang and heading home, Tuna leisurely walked along the familiar path she traveled every day. The twilight sun slowly descended, a gentle breeze rustled through the roadside trees. Everything seemed as peaceful and ordinary as any other day. Yet fate always holds unexpected turns that no one can foresee. In the blink of an eye, a horrifying accident struck. From the opposite direction, a motorbike sped toward her at a frightening pace. The screech of sudden brakes pierced the air, but it was already too late. The vehicle slammed straight into Tuna. The impact was so strong that she was thrown to the ground, her body trembling, her breaths rapid and then fading away. Would Tuna be able to survive this cruel life-or-death moment? Would destiny grant her another chance to return to her little child waiting at home and continue her quiet life on the farm? Meanwhile, Alex, the cold, stern CEO, who had always silently watched over Tu. Now how would he react upon hearing that the woman who held his heart had suffered such a grave accident? Would he abandon all his work to rush to her side? Or would this cruel reality push them both into an irreparable tragedy? Don't take your eyes off the screen, because the next developments will surely make your heart ache with emotion. Wishing you a peaceful new day filled with positive energy. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of the thrilling and emotional moments in the love story between CEO Alex and the single mother, Tuna. As the morning sunlight filtered through the lush green leaves and shone down on the vast garden, Tuna had already woken up early. With a familiar bamboo basket slung over her shoulder, she stepped into the dragon fruit orchard now in its peak harvest season. The ripe dragon fruits glowed a vibrant red, their pink skins dotted with tender green ears, making them look irresistibly beautiful. The morning breeze rustled through the branches, creating a scene both peaceful and full of vitality. Tuna carefully picked each fruit, gently placing it into her basket, as if afraid of scratching their skins. Every time a basket was filled, she set it neatly aside. Sweat dotted her forehead, yet her eyes sparkled with joy and satisfaction. After finishing the harvest, Tuna carried 2 large baskets of dragon fruit to sell at the market. Along the road leading there, the midday sun spread its golden light across the path, while cicadas chirped tirelessly like the familiar background music of summer. When she arrived, the bustling marketplace unfolded before her eyes. The voices of vendors and buyers, the calls of peddlers, the laughter of children playing filled the air with lively energy. Tuna chose a small corner and laid out the freshly picked dragon fruits, their skins glowing red, round and glossy. Within minutes, housewives and passing customers gathered around. Everyone praised such beautiful dragon fruits, so red and fresh they must be sweet. In no time, her baskets were sold out. Tuna smiled a radiant, happy smile, seeing her hard work appreciated and embraced. Amidst her joy, Tuna suddenly thought of Mrs. Tang, the kind elderly neighbor she deeply respected. A hint of concern stirred in her heart. I wonder if her leg pain has eased by now. With that thought, she stopped by a nearby stall, bought some fresh fruit and a few boxes of milk, intending to visit her and bring some nourishment for her health. By late afternoon, Tuna arrived at Mrs. Tang's gate. A tranquil scene appeared before her, a small house with bougainvillea cascading down, birds chirping merrily on the eaves. Tuna softly called out Mrs. Tang. "It's me, Tuna." Inside, Mrs. Tang was tidying up when she suddenly heard the familiar voice. She stepped out with a gentle smile. "Oh, Tuna, come in, dear." Tuna entered, setting the gift basket on the table, and asked with care, "How's your leg feeling these days? I brought you some fruit and milk, hoping it helps strengthen your health." Mrs. Tang's eyes lit up with joy and gratitude. "Thank you so much, Tuna. My leg feels much better now, no longer aching as before. I'm truly blessed to have such kind neighbors like you." They sat together at the familiar wooden table in her small home. Outside, the afternoon sun had softened, and a breeze drifted through the window, carrying with it the fragrance of the countryside. The two women chatted warmly, sometimes asking about health, sometimes talking about the crops, or simply sharing the everyday happenings of rural life. Their gentle laughter echoed in the cozy space. Time passed quickly, and soon the sunlight faded, painting the sky with the tender orange hues of dusk. Realizing that evening was falling too, Tuna rose to her feet and said softly, "Grandma, it's getting late. I should head home to prepare dinner for my little one." Mrs. Tang nodded gently, holding Tuna's hand, her eyes filled with affection. "Yes, dear, go before it gets too dark. Take care of yourself and give my regards to the child." Tuna smiled, bowed slightly, and took her leave, walking briskly down the path toward home. The road back to the farm was now bathed in the golden glow of dusk. Faint rays of sunlight filtered through the treetops, stretching across the red dirt path. Tuna walked leisurely, still carrying the lingering fragrance of the orchard on her shoulders, her heart brimming with joy after a long day of labor. Yet in that very moment, when everything seemed most peaceful, an unexpected tragedy struck. From the opposite direction, a motorbike suddenly sped toward her at alarming speed. The roar of its engine tore apart the silence. Before Tuna could react, the bike had already slammed straight into her. The violent impact sent her crashing to the ground. Her whole body trembled. Her hands scraped against the gravelly earth, and her breath grew weak. Tears streamed down her face, mixing with sweat and dust. But what hurt more than the wounds on her body was the merciless act of the man who caused the accident. He only cast a quick glance at Tuna, then without stopping, hastily picked up his bike, started the engine, and sped away, leaving her lying helplessly on the deserted road. Despair filled Tuna's eyes as she looked around. The field stretched endlessly, a few tiled rooftops visible in the distance, but not a single soul appeared. She struggled to push herself up, but the pain in her legs radiated through her body, making it impossible to move. Tears welled up again, her lips trembling as she whispered in a broken voice, "Someone, please help me." And then, just as loneliness and helplessness seemed to overwhelm her, fate intervened. Alex appeared. He was on his way back from the city after signing an important contract with Adam's company. His black car glided down the village road, and from afar, his sharp eyes suddenly caught sight of a familiar figure lying motionless by the roadside. Alex's heart clenched. He immediately swerved the wheel and stopped the car abruptly. The door swung open, and he rushed toward the woman lying there. And just as his instincts had told him, it was Tuna, the woman who had captured his heart for so long. "Tuna, My God, why are you lying here? Alex's face was filled with worry, his eyes in turmoil. He knelt down, his trembling hands gently lifting her up. Tuna slowly opened her eyes, gazing at him weakly, her voice hoarse from pain. Alex, I was just hit by a motorbike. My leg hurts so much, I can't stand up. Hearing those words, Alex's heart tightened further. Without a moment's hesitation, he bent down and lifted Tuna into his arms with all his strength and urgency. Her shallow, ragged breaths pressed against his chest, making his heart ache even more. In a trembling voice, he whispered, "Don't worry, I'll take you to the hospital right away. Please, hold on, Tuna." The car sped off into the evening breeze, leaving behind a trail of dust and the empty road. Inside, Alex drove, while glancing back at her, constantly terrified she might lose consciousness. His hands gripped the steering wheel tightly, his mind consumed by one thought. If anything happens to Tuna, what will I do? When they arrived at the hospital, Alex immediately called out for nurses and doctors. He carried Tuna straight into the emergency room, his eyes pleading, "Please save her, I beg you." The door to the emergency room shut, pushing Alex outside. He sank into a chair, his hands tightly clasped, eyes fixed anxiously on the closed door. Each passing minute felt like an eternity. His heart was tormented by endless questions. If she doesn't make it, how will I live? Why is fate so cruel? Could it be that just as I found the courage to admit my feelings, I'm about to lose her forever? Inside, the steady beeping of machines and the voices of doctors filled the room, but Alex could hear only the pounding of his own heart. Time itself seemed to stop. At last the door opened. The doctor stepped out, his face calm and composed. Alex rushed toward him, his voice choked. "Doctor, how is she? Is she all right?" The doctor nodded gently, his tone reassuring. "You can rest easy. She only suffered external injuries, some bruises and scratches. There's no serious internal damage. With rest and proper care, she'll recover quickly." Hearing this, Alex finally let out a long sigh of relief. He stepped back, lifting his face toward the ceiling, his eyes blurred with emotion. All the fear, all the worry in his heart seemed to dissolve in that moment. A while later, Tuna was wheeled out. Her face was pale, but her eyes had regained a hint of vitality. Alex hurried to her side, grasping her hand tightly. "Thank heavens. You're safe. From now on, you must be more careful. All right." Tuna looked at him, her lips trembling softly. "Thank you, Alex. If it weren't for you today, I truly don't know what would have happened." Alex squeezed her hand gently, his voice low yet firm. "As long as I'm here, no one will ever abandon you like that again. I'll always be here, Tuna." On the way back to the farm, the atmosphere in the car was quiet and tender. Alex kept glancing at her, his voice firm but caring. "When we get home, you must rest completely. Work can wait. Your health comes first. I'll arrange for someone to help you. All you need to do is recover." Tuna silently nodded, her heart overflowing with deep emotion. Outside, the glow of twilight had completely faded, giving way to the gentle embrace of the night. When they returned to the farm, night had already fallen. The starry sky stretched endlessly above, and the bright moonlight shone down over the vast garden. The night breeze gently rustled the leaves, creating a scene of pure tranquility. Alex carefully helped Tuna out of the car and guided her to sit at the familiar bamboo table in the middle of the yard. Under the warm glow of the yellow lamp hanging in front of the house, her face appeared tired, yet tinged with relief at having safely made it back home. Looking at Tu, now Alex couldn't help but feel a pang of sorrow. Rolling up his sleeves, his voice was firm yet gentle. "Sit here and rest. Tonight, I'll cook you a good meal." With that, Alex strode quickly into the kitchen. Soon, the rhythmic sounds of pots, pans, and chopping echoed through the house. Before long, delicious aromas filled the farm, the scent of freshly steamed rice, the refreshing fragrance of vegetable soup, and the rich flavors of dishes carefully prepared by Alex himself. Cooking was not something he often did, but tonight every movement was steady and filled with tenderness, all because he wanted Tuna to feel comfort after the ordeal she had endured. When he brought out the meal, Tuna was momentarily stunned. In front of her was a hearty dinner not made of delicacies, but of simple dishes infused with love. Alex smiled, pulled out a chair across from her, and gently said, "Eat. You need nourishment to recover quickly." Tuna looked at him, her eyes glistening as if tears were about to fall. She never imagined that a busy, seemingly cold CEO like Alex would step into the kitchen and cook just to take care of her. Under the shimmering light, the two sat together, sharing a meal that was quiet yet filled with warmth. Alex quietly gazed at Tuna, a silent vow rising within him. He told himself, no matter what life may bring, I will always stay by her side, protecting her and her little child. I will never allow anything to hurt them again. A thought flickered in Alex's mind. He had once proposed to Tuna, but it hadn't come to pass. Today, seeing her sitting there fragile yet resilient, his desire to protect and spend his life with her grew even stronger. Clenching his fists, Alex made a firm decision. When Tuna recovers, I will propose again. This time I won't let her refuse. But if it were you, what would you do? Would you propose to Tu? Right in this romantic moment, with the moonlight and warm lamplight bearing witness to your love? Or would you wait until she has fully recovered, strong enough to embrace the proposal with open arms? Share your thoughts in the comments below so everyone can join the conversation. Who knows, your answer might be the very one Alex is struggling to find in his heart.
CEOALEX đã phát hiện ra nơi con Tuna đang sinh sống, nhưng việc là có đồng ý rời xa cuộc sống hiện tại để theo anh về trang trại, hay vẫn tiếp tục ở bên Adam và Tang, những người bên cạnh cô suốt thời gian qua. Với tình yêu sâu đậm dành cho Tuna, CEOALEX quyết định không dễ dàng bỏ cuộc. Anh sẵn sàng làm mọi chuyện để thuyết phục cô và quay về bên mình và dẫn cuộc sống với tươi sáng hơn. Nhưng điều đấy luôn được đấy, nếu Tuna thay đổi quyết định, hay cô sẽ chọn ở nơi những người đã từng với cô trong suốt khoảng thời gian khó khăn. Hãy ấn đăng ký và bật chuông thông báo để theo dõi bất kỳ tình tiết nào trong chuyện bất ngờ của CEOALEX và người mẹ đơn thân Tuna.